right, so good evening. Um, I wanted to try out the live. Um, I guess I'll do this in English. Let's see if we have anybody logging in. Any of my subscribers. Just gonna play some guitar. Right now, I have a little setup here in my bedroom. I usually like to have books near my bed, and um, I like to read a lot and draw. I've been drawing a lot lately. And I have my amps. I brought a couple of my bass amplifier and my guitar amplifier here in my bedroom. I'm practicing. Maybe I could talk about fundamentals of guitar. If you're a guitar student or are looking and maybe considering learning to play guitar, um, I could probably talk about the important stuff, fundamentals of what you need. So we need I guess we would need the guitar, obviously. I think I talked about this in a different video. I would get a nylon, an acoustic guitar. I'm sorry, uh, uh, a steel string guitar, because that's how I learned. Basically, it's the I was taught. I took lessons, and I was taught that a steel string guitar will help you obviously develop strength and agility. And obviously, if we're looking into playing rock music or anything modern like pop, folk, um, I'm guessing R&B, soul music, or anything in the radio on the radio um, that isn't Latin American music or Spanish, um, we would have to get an acoustic guitar, nylon, steel string. I know that a lot of us have nylon string guitars, and those are good too. Um, they have their purpose, but if we want to learn actual technique and maybe one day play electric guitar, then I would suggest you get an acoustic guitar, a steel string. I'm gonna bring mine. I got a huge mess in my bedroom. It's not, well, it's not really a huge mess. I just haven't made my bed today. I keep my guitar near the bed because it's always something I like to have near me. If we get, if we do start maybe wanting to take lessons, then I suggest you get a tuner, obviously. These are very um, important if we want to stay in tune. And my guitar has a tuner, so I use, usually stays in tune. The more you tune your guitar, the better. We have one subscriber. I'm gonna tune the guitar. So I'm gonna talk about just basically, if you're interested in learning how to play guitar, or if you already know how to play guitar, the stuff that I do. Um, I grew up in Los Angeles in the 90s, and I learned to play guitar because of all the grunge and all the grunge music that was going on, and maybe Seattle bands. Okay, so acoustic guitar, steel string guitar is usually the best. Getting a tuner is very important. Having a tuner. Um, this one doesn't have a. This is a Musado. I don't know where they. I don't know. I know the Korg, or not Korg. I forgot the name of the brand. Something you can probably get at Guitar Center. But it's a clip-on tuner. These are really good. And a metronome. Those would be the basic, the things to get. Guitar picks, tuners, and metronomes. A metronome. I don't have my metronome here, but having a metronome is definitely a must. If I could only get one thing at the guitar store, I would get a metronome. Okay, and the first thing that I would like to encourage is tone and um, maybe consistency. Really learn to alternate pick. It's very important that you alternate pick and that you know your major and minor scales. Obviously at a different speed. And you have to learn it. Basically has to be the most important thing that you learn on the guitar. If I could only learn one right now, it would be the major scale. It's the most important scale. All over the guitar, learn your fretboard. If you don't know your fretboard, you can easily get lost, and knowing your keys is also very important. Circle of fifths, if you can look that up, that's very important. But basically, if it was just something that there was just one thing that I had to know, it would be the major scale. Because after the major, then we look for the Aeolian mode within that key. Basically the same notes, but we start on the 6th degree, the Aeolian. So it's gonna be a quick live. I just wanna I wanna see if the live works. I guess it does work. I see some subscribers logging in and out. So basically, I'm talking about the acoustic. If you want to learn how to play guitar, this would be the first things that you would have to have and learn: steel string guitar pick, obviously, a tuner, and a metronome. And with the metronome, we have to learn how to alternate pick: down, up, and our major scale. That's basically, when you see me make these videos, that's what I'm utilizing: major scale. scale that I could learn, it would be the C major scale. I would pick one key, which would be C, because it's the only one that has no flats or sharps. C major scale all over the fretboard. Know your fretboard. Know there's a lot of diagrams on Google. You look for the fretboard, and you want to look for the notes that have flats and sharps. For now, avoid those notes. Just look for the C major scale within every part of the guitar. This is the first one. This is the one that I would learn. The one on the 5, 6, 7, 8th fret. One octave. And then the other octave. Right? Know your C major scale. In this position, the 8th, 5, 6, 7, 8th fret, starting with your second finger. Memorize where the notes are on the entire fretboard. You have to know your fretboard. If you don't know your fretboard, you're going to be very lost whenever you have band practice, or whenever you're trying to learn something, or whenever you're trying to write something. It's going to be a short live. I'm basically just talking about fundamentals of guitar. And try to get a steel string guitar and a metronome. The metronome gives us a pulse. Constantly down, up, 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 down, right? This is the same scale, same 8 notes, just one octave higher. And this is the other octave. It starts here again. And it's the same shape, if you can. It's the same fingers. 2, 4, 1. And you skip the 2, 4, 1, and here it is again. 2, 4, 1. You also have it here. Right here, because of the second string, it changes obviously. So this is basically this is basic stuff live. I wanted to see if the live worked. So yeah, learn to alternate pick. Alternate picking is very important. This is something I tend to do when I do this, but we usually want to do the alternate always. Basically what I'm doing, I'm just going up and down the guitar, the same scale, the same notes, the same shapes. Same pattern, same finger pattern. If I'm doing 1 2 4 1 2 4, then I look for the 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4, right? Right here on the second string, it changes, so you have to make the according modification. More importantly than speed, we want tone, clarity. Before we start really shredding and doing what I call guitar gymnastics. For all this fancy stuff, we really want to know how to alternate pick and be constant, clear tone on the metronome. So that's so we can stay on beat, play with the drummer. So basically, we learn to walk first. Basically that's it. That's just like a quick guitar lesson. And chords. Chords are very, very important. Without chords, we really don't have any harmony. So learn your C major scale and all your major chords, major and minor chords, same as major and major, all minor and major scales. That's just the basics. That's just without it, it's you really can't make any progress. Major minor scales, major minor major minor major minor. Whenever you hear Zeppelin or you hear anything bluesy, it's usually they're alternating between those scales. They're playing I used to think it was the bend. I used to think it was the when you bend. That's the A7, right? I used to think it was the bend that made it bluesy, but it's not just the bend. It's the switching between major and minor scales. So you have to know your A minor and your A major. You utilize both. That's what makes it so bluesy and sort of like sour. This is the blues, the A minor blues. Maybe swing it a little. But if you're just starting out, you want to learn your C major and your all your major scales and all your minor scales. Start with the C major. Look for all those natural, C natural, D natural, E natural, F natural, G natural, A natural, G natural, C natural. Sorry, A, B natural, C natural. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Within that scale, you find modes. Those modes are, I would basically stick with the C major and the Aeolian. So there's like 5 or 6 scales that I'm always utilizing. I'm not using anything else. If I'm in A or if I'm in G, I use both major and minor. They call parallel keys. So A minor, A major, minor, major, right? Major, minor, but that's advanced. That took me a really long time and a lot of practice. But I think the important thing is knowing your notes, knowing your keys. If you can get a hold of this circle of fifths. C major scale, C major scale, still playing C major, still playing C major. And all of a sudden I switched to C minor. Major, minor, major, right? And the essence, or I guess the thing that makes it look, I guess, elegant is me knowing my fretboard. If I didn't know my fretboard, I'd be making a lot of guesswork, and you would be able to perceive that. So know your scales, know your chords. Know your major and minor, major and minor, major and minor, minor, landing on major. Right, major. What else? If you're going to learn how to play electric guitar, I suggest, if you've never played guitar, if this is your first guitar lesson, or you don't play music, or it's very important. I know a lot of people are wondering and guessing, should I learn theory? You should absolutely learn theory. It's a must. It's something that will not affect, affect your creativity in any way. It will only enhance your creativity. At first, not maybe. At first, maybe it will be a lot complicated, because you're wondering, why is this important? Isn't it better to look for the sounds to create your own stuff? It is sometimes. Sometimes it's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this sounds really good. But knowing eventually what it is that you're playing is a lot beneficial. I make up stuff, but I know a lot of theory now, so I know basically if I'm doing something, out of this world that I've never done before. Or if you know one key, obviously C major. You have a tonal center. You have a root. What is this called? You have a subdominant, the fourth. You have a dominant, your fifth. Back to your tonal center, where everything is being pulled to. So this is very quick, and there's a lot of information here. So guitar picks. Get a tuner. I have a tuner on my guitar, so I'm not using this. I use this on my electric guitar mainly. If you can get one of these, these are nice to have. But if it has no tuner and if it's at a good price and it comes with a case, I would definitely get it. If it's a steel string, you can get a tuner with it, you know. So they're usually at good prices. These are usually a little bit more expensive. It's like adding, I don't know, like $200-300 just for this, and you can get one of these. I don't know how much these are, 30, 35, 40. Maybe they're a lot more inexpensive now. So like a $200, $300, $400 guitar, steel string, and you tell them that you need a tuner and a metronome. You need a metronome. It is very important that you practice with a metronome. Know your fretboard. If you could get a book on theory, at least know your major and your minor. Major, minor. Modes will come later. Modes, don't worry about modes right now. There's a lot of metal guitar players, people who are huge Metallica fans, and they want to know how to play certain things, which is okay. You know, practice stuff that you're interested in. Be involved in the music that you like. But knowing modes right now probably isn't beneficial. You have to know your entire fretboard before you start doing any of that. I guess you would have to do everything simultaneously, but fundamentals of getting around the guitar is major, minor scales. Major chords, minor chords. So basically that's it. It's a really short guitar lesson. Usually if something that theory can do is probably give you an insight into a guitar player's mentality. For example, I was talking about Zeppelin or classic rock. There's a lot of classic rock that utilizes the parallel major minor keys as they're creating solos. The Beatles, they use a lot of parallel major minor. Radiohead, a lot of the blues is major minor. It's major chords against minor solos. This is advanced, but okay, I think that's it. I just wanted to make sure that the live is working. If you can get books, anything on theory, anything from Hal Leonard is really good to have. Basically, I'm speaking about basic stuff today. I just wanted to make sure that the live was working. I have a little setup here in my bedroom. I have my computer here, a couple of amplifiers, and I listen to a lot of music here, and I do a lot of writing here in my bedroom. I have my studio right here in the next door in the living room, and I make a lot of those videos here in my apartment. I'm spending a lot of time drawing recently. I could talk about art in later videos. I really I really like to keep art and music separate. One is not the same as the other. I think music should be respected in its own I guess its own thing, its own genre, its own space. The same as art, graphic art or sculpture, photography, dance, architecture, acting, performing, performance art, um, poetry, literature. All these things have their own space, and I think everything should be in its own. Should be treated as its own thing. So music is one thing, and art is another. I will talk about art in other videos, but so basically, it's major, minor, major, minor, major, minor. Know your major, minor. Know your entire fretboard. Know your entire fretboard. And what else? Fretboard books. If you can get a book on basic music theory, I completely recommend it. Know theory. Know at least your major and minor scales, your major and minor chords, major, minor, major. Try to major. Know the difference between major and minor, the way they sound and the way they're constructed. I will talk about chord construction in a different video. Minor, major, minor. Seventh chords are a little advanced. This is a seventh dominant. It's like right now you can only see my right hand. I think it's really important that you utilize the pick. Learn to obviously finger pick eventually. But I think it's first and foremost you have to learn how to hold a pick and how to use it. I use it differently, I guess, than a lot of other players. I think I use it like I hold it like this, and as I start speeding up, I think I hold it with three fingers. Oh no, that's not true. I think I don't know. I think I hold it like this, which is not like this. You know, eventually, I think this is the actual way you're supposed to hold it, right? And you're supposed to go up. Alternate pick. Alternate picking does not switch. It's obviously very important because it helps you with your technique. As I start speeding up, I think I eventually move the pick to the right, and I grip it really hard, and I have a nice tip there. I hold it like this. There's a little. It's like I move my index into the pick to grip it better. For more advanced players, I guess, yeah, utilize those major and minor. Really get them under your fingers. I attended Hollywood Musicians Institute, College of Music, about, I don't know, 20 years ago, And one of the things that I remember is that a lot of this stuff I really wanted to absorb really quickly. And as I progressed, as I sat there watching uh, Joe Pass videos, um, I saw what are the other greats. I would sit in with Scott Henderson, and I would sit in with Alan Hines, and I would Keith Wyatt, the blues guy, the guy who taught blues at MI. Um, I think he's still there. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, all these really important, great guitar players. The guy who did the Starlix videos. I don't know if you've ever seen the Starlix videos. Every time I tried to, I want to get speed and I want to get good and I want to be really fluent on the guitar. And I want to be creative and I want to, you know, I really want to emulate the stuff I'm hearing on the radio, major and minor, major and minor, major and minor. As I was at MI, I realized that a lot of the stuff was, basically minor into major. Like, well, but that can't be the whole. No, there's obviously there's more. There's death metal, there's black metal, there's the all the modes you have to learn. But if you want to get good at the basics, get really good tone, constant, get really good at rhythm, especially. I think my guitar playing, or like the way I focus on guitar, would be, I'd say 75% of it is rhythm. I don't really lose my head over solo guitar playing, because even though it's very interesting and it's very beautiful to watch and obviously really crazy to get into it, a lot of that stuff that sounds really really complicated and intricate is because the guitar player knows about rhythm, and he knows the differences between really good rhythm and really bad rhythm. If you're kind of okay on rhythm guitar, then you're going to be kind of okay on solo lead guitar. So if you're really good at rhythm, then you're going to be really good at solos. Um, um, for advanced players, I'm talking to advanced players. Songwriting, I'll talk about that in a later video. Songwriting is a lot more personal and obviously more um, personalized, but I wouldn't stray from parallel keys, major, minor, the same. A lot of the stuff that sounds really complicated, and Muse, for example, if this is a really good example, if you like the band Muse and you've heard, I forgot the name of the record. Basically all their records is utilizing major, minor, harmonic minor. It's the harmonic minor, the major seventh, in the minor key, in the minor scale, minor key. So I'm not very much into the harmonic. Actually, I am. I think I'm gonna make emphasis on what I make the emphasis on, and most of my playing requires that I know major and minor scales, basically major and minor scales, major and minor scales. I do utilize the melodic and the harmonic. The melodic is sixth. It's basically minor, major sixth, and minor, which is I think a lot of jazz guitar. Um, I'm not very fluent in jazz guitar. I am learning, and I kind of do stuff. It's not it's not my strength, but if you're going to get into jazz guitar, which is a lot more advanced, um, I suggest you know your keys and major minor scales before you jump into melodic minor. Um, what else could I tell advanced players? I guess something that really helped me was singing along with notes. Maybe sometimes if I'm lost. That really helps you to develop a sense of melody as to where the melody should be going. It helps out your ear. Anyways, um, songwriting is a lot more personal, and we'll talk about that in a different video. Um, Stick to the things that you enjoy, stick to the things that you like. If it's folk music, then stick to that. Basically, that's it. It's a quick video. I wanted to make sure the live was working. Um, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but major, minor. Get a metronome. Get a metronome. Rhythm is, for me, it's 75% much more important. I would say 85% much more important than, going off on the guitar. Um, for any kind of music wor- um, that works around a specific rhythm. And if we're looking to obviously be really good at harmony, I think harmony is also part of it. It has a lot of harmonic content, rhythmic content. I'm sorry. Metronome, a tuner is definitely important. If you're an advanced player, I do suggest you um, get into that mentality that you have to know your major and minor and major scales up and down the fretboard. You have to know your fretboard, and you have to know the theory. So if you don't know theory, then I suggest you get a basic book on theory. Hal Leonard makes a lot of great um, basic music theory. Know your keys. Make sure you know your major, your minor scales, and chords all over the guitar. I think that's it. I think that's basically it. That's just like a basic guitar lesson. Just want to help any of you guys out there who are trying to improve on the guitar. Um, Getting books on theory is a very important thing to do. Um, there's a lot of people who say that they don't really rely on theory, but I think everyone should rely on theory. If you know theory, it's not going to hurt your creativity. It's only going to enhance it. At first, maybe you might have struggle. May have a struggle in knowing whether something is good or bad. In the sense that, oh, should I use this key? Should I use this note? Should I use those chords? Ultimately, it's up to you. It's your personalized tastes are what are going to guide and structure your music. Um, there's an Elliott Smith. I don't know if you know who Elliott Smith is. He's really really important singer songwriter. back in the 90s. He did a, I think it's guitar.com. Well, actually, it's on YouTube. You look for Elliott Smith interview, guitar lesson, and he talks about being playing the stuff that you like. Obviously, focus on the stuff that you enjoy and the stuff that you like, because that's what's going to basically be amplified. Your likes and your dislikes. I had a really hard time learning how to play that the major, the minor. I don't know why it took me a very long time to get it. I don't know why. I think I was sticking back to that thing. I thought that bends were. Actually, I'm not completely wrong. That does sound very. That gives it a lot of color. But then when you add the major, it sounds very, very bluesy. That took me a long time to learn. So basically, use your ear. I know you can't see my left hand, but really, really get good at utilizing the pick and use that metronome. Play rhythm guitar, play rhythm guitar, play rhythm guitar. There's another thing I want to recommend is if you haven't heard AC/DC, Back in Black record. I forgot how it goes. It's been such a long time since I played that music. Anyways, it's, basically, if you're listening to AC/DC and you're in, it's really it's old school rock. It's classic rock. But if you listen to the production and you listen to those beats and the way they play the chords on top of the drums and the bass, they're so tight. It's such a groove oriented music that you're caught up on Malcolm Young's guitar solos, which are incredible. But if you listen to the impact of the music, is 90% of it is the band, which is the drums, the bass, and the rhythm guitar. No, not Malcolm Young. Oh God, I forgot his name. He died recently. Anyways, underrated guitar player. The guy from AC/DC. There's two brothers. There's Angus Young. Angus is the lead. Malcolm Young is he passed away recently. Incredible guitar player, Malcolm Young. If you want to get good at guitar playing, if you want to be, on top of your game, and you want to be the envy of a lot of people, if you're ever showing up to band practice, Malcolm Young, look that guy up. Malcolm Young, Angus Young's brother. He's the one that kept that back, the rhythm in that band. And if you're good at rhythm guitar, you're going to be good at solo guitar. If you're not good at rhythm, you're not going to be good at solo. It's easy as that. It's just like a basic. I don't know if it's physics or what it is, but if you can't keep a beat, if you can't keep a pulse, know where you are, which chord are you playing, over what chord, over what change, major, minor, is it major, is it minor, is it the beginning of the song, is it the middle of the song, is it the end of the song, are we repeating? Keep that rhythm tight, keep the rhythm tight, up and down alternate picking, keep that rhythm tight, and being 90% better at that is 200% times better than just focusing on your guitar solos. Guitar solo is really time consuming, and it's really special. It's really beautiful, and it takes a lot from you, and it's really nice to show off, and it's very self satisfying, when you can play. I don't know any guitar solos right now. but you have to know the stuff underneath. What is the stuff that moves those chords? Oh, moves those notes. What moves that melody? Why is this song so good? Always focus on that stuff. Focus on. I don't know if you've heard Rolling Stones, Angie. If you've heard that song, Rolling Stones, Angie. Um, Listen to the way the melody goes on top of those chords. There's something that you're like, why does it? Well, why does it sound? Why does it feel like? Why does it taste this good? Because it's very tasteful. It's very tasteful guitar playing. Keith Richards playing rhythm, or I don't know who else is. Ron Wood on bass. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the lineup is on. I think that's the version I heard was stripped, Rolling Stone stripped. But it's really, really tasteful guitar playing. It's not. It's not. It's a lot different, right? You develop these tastes, but if you can really find your way around rhythm, you're going to find your way around the lead. If you try to do everything the opposite way, it's not going to sound. It's really going to affect the way you play guitar, and it's not going to sound very satisfying. Very satisfying. So know your major, minor, and keep the tone clean. Especially if you're playing acoustic guitar, keep that tone clean and constant. Talking back to the guitar pick. Constant. I know I'm going fast, but be able to hit the notes and let them ring. You want to hear those harmonics. You want to be able to hear harmonics. It's like I'm playing two notes, but there's harmonics. There's a lot of harmonic content within these sounds. You want your ears to be, you want to give your ears a good diet. Not just speed, melody. Sustain, dynamics. Ultimately, it's personalized. But as you get good at understanding fundamentals, then you start to see why it's important to know theory. Know your tastes. Sometimes we develop things that other people like because other people like them. Our friends like to listen to I don't know, Guns N' Roses, so we listen to Guns N' Roses, and we sort of find an affinity with it through our friends. I like Guns N' Roses because my friends are turned on to it. know why you like it. That's something that it took me a long time to develop, and it took me a long time to really understand what it is. What is it that you like? Um, Focus on the things that you like and know why it is that you like certain things. Don't just listen to stuff on the radio because you're told to listen to it, or because it's on the radio. It's already convincing you that it's completely. Excuse me, I just had lunch. That it's because it's completely good, or a lot of the things that are on the radio are really good and they're there for a reason. But I'm just saying, it's good to question things and question what kind of music that we like, and the things that we do like. Um, are they going to help us with our music, or is it stuff that we're going to enjoy? Um, I remember my first memory with the Red Hot Chili Peppers was that I did not like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I did not like Give It Away. It was the worst, most annoying thing I had ever heard in my life. I think I was like 7 years old, 7 or 9 years old. I did not like the Chili Peppers. It was that guitar playing that I think I'm playing it. Playing it, complaining. There's a yeah. It's really complicated guitar playing. It's really really good guitar playing. Um, at the first time I heard it, I think I saw one of my cousins. He was playing the record. I don't know, in a vacation house we were at, and he was jumping all over the house and imitating Anthony Kiedis and kind of rapping with the music, and I hated that. I hated everything about it. It was very annoying, and I don't know. Maybe it was because he was happy. I don't know. Anyways, so that. Anyways, I don't know. I've completely forgot how to play that. Even I don't think I ever played it right. Anyways, now I think that John Frusciante is one of my favorite guitar players, and the way he treats the guitar is very textural and aggressive, and almost like he's physically sculpting stuff out of the guitar. So it's like I'm saying, watch those notes, make sure they're clean. He does stuff like what is it? Anyways, he's all over the guitar, really like sculpting his sound. That stuff he grabs the strings, he bends them, he slaps them. Almost like imitating the bass. He really digs into the guitar. He really, I don't know what's a I forgot the. Anyways, stuff I used to really really worship when I started to really understand So basically, I hated the Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was like 7 or 9 years old, and then I started developing my ear when I started to learn how to play guitar. And my guitar teacher said that John Frusciante was insane, and he said, Have you heard that record?" And I said, I heard Give It Away. I really don't like it." And he said, "You're crazy. You have to really listen to that music." And it really it completely changed the way I saw guitar playing forever. Um, this one, this anyways, that's really beautiful, very very tasteful, sensual, almost erotic guitar playing. Um, if you can get the music to that, you will be completely blown away. Um, I'm trying to get that solo. Or this one. It's what I was talking about, rhythm, being completely infatuated with being connected to the drums and the bass constantly. Being in the pocket, muting and letting the strings sort of shake a little and muting them back. Accents are very key in that band. Um, there's another one that obviously this one. Playing it wrong. I think it's sometimes I feel like I don't have a plan. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Anyways, that whole song, that whole record, I totally recommend it. If you're an advanced player, or if you don't know what John Frusciante is, or you want to learn how to play good guitar playing, if you're a little advanced, this may be advanced for if you're starting to learn how to play. Focus on the things that I talked about earlier in the video. Look at the video again and major, minor, major, minor. Know your parallel keys, alternate picking, and obviously enjoy it. Enjoy playing music, and learn about theory. It's not it's almost like, oh, I have to learn how to do the hard stuff. It's not difficult. It's very simple. It just requires a little concentration. Once you get it, it's there, and it's very very helpful tool. um anyway, so John Frusciante is one of the um it's that kind of guitar playing. It's like he's sculpting what he wants to come out of the speakers, and it's really inspiring and really crazy. um I think Trent Reznor's music is really really textural and effective. It has a very compositional, orchestration, symphonic thing going on in within the music, and it's probably a little advanced. It's maybe a little too advanced. Um, that was another record I couldn't really get my ears weren't developed yet. I think I was what 9 years old, maybe a little older. No, I was like 7 years old, 7 8 years old, and my cousin was listening to Closer. I hated that song. I hated it. I really did, especially the video. And now I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I think Trent Reznor is a genius, and I love that video. I think the artwork and his approach to creating and music composition and being in a band and being very prolific and consistent, workaholic, is very inspirational. Trent Reznor is definitely a really really important person if you want to start developing your ear. So a lot of things that we don't like. A lot of things that we don't like, um, and have a huge impact on other people. Um, you find that you don't find you try to look for the reason why is it good? Why is it something that I should listen to? A lot of the stuff that you don't have. For example, I hated rap music as I was growing up in LA. I just wanted to play guitar, and I hated rap music. And then one day all of a sudden I heard Dr. Dre's Chronic 2000, completely blown away by it. I think it has a lot to do with the moment in time when it's introduced to you. Maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe you're not really into it. Maybe at the moment, maybe you're just maybe you have other stuff on your mind. And music, like art, requires a lot of concentration. You can't dismiss a lot of things because you're not used to them, right? Um, can I change the filter? I'm new to live. This is my first live. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start utilizing this so that you guys can get into music. Oh, look at all this stuff. I didn't know I could do all this. 8 millimeter. That's a good one. I like the 8 millimeter. Um, so I'm gonna learn how to documental. I like these. I like these filters. Hey, look at that one. Um, I like this one for now. Okay. So yeah, developing, looking at something and dismissing it. Usually, you're correct, right? You're not ready to listen to that. First time I heard the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I hated "Give It Away." Under the Bridge was, I think it had a lot to do with Anthony Kiedis running in slow motion, and it really didn't appeal to me. I don't know why. It just looked really, uh, I don't know. It looked very not appealing. It looked aesthetically. It didn't really. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was anything. There was nothing. Anything. A lot of it had to do with MTV. I was really captured by MTV at a very young age, and Kurt Cobain was obviously everything, and Pearl Jam was everything to me, and Collective Soul. I didn't like Soundgarden either. Soundgarden wasn't something I was keen on listening to constantly. Now I know why those bands are so important, so great. It's because you have to take your time to listen to these bands. Maybe they appeal to your friends, which is a good thing. That's why. But everybody has their own tastes, and I hated the Chili Peppers for some reason until my guitar teacher said, "Have you heard of John Frusciante?" I was like, "John Frusciante? Who's John Frusciante?" He's the guitar player for the Blood Sugar Sex Magic, the one before Dave Navarro. The guy in that beanie when he's playing, in the front of the video, he's like, "Yeah, that kid." And I was like, he's yeah, he's like 18 or 19 when he's filming that video. and he said, "Listen to that. Listen to that." No, I said, "I don't like the Chili Peppers." He said, "Have you listened to the record?" And I said, "Not really. I mean, my cousin had to give it away." He's like, "Get that record and listen to it. Study that guitar playing. That dude is incredibly insane." Is what he's doing. If you've heard the actual title track, "Blood Sugar Sex Magic," Sex Magic, blood, da, 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 she magic, sex magic, da, da. That whole thing is incredible. The guitar solo in that is it was the record that brought me and a lot of other friends together. Um, we loved, growing up. When I got to high school, I knew what I had to do was listening, really get into John Frusciante's guitar playing, and that's what I did. That's what I did. I was completely embraced by it, and it was something that I didn't understand why it didn't appeal to me because I hadn't developed my ears. My ears had not developed, and it was really hard to get Trent Reznor's music until I heard The Fragile. The Fragile was it was like jaw dropping. The Somewhat Damaged, um, just like you imagined. There's a sequence in there with a guitar? It sounds like they're violins on in going through pedals, but it's a guitar, and it's just so insane and it's incredible. Trent Reznor, The Cure, obviously I've talked about in certain videos, but The Cure wasn't difficult. I loved The Cure ever since I was a child. I think I've heard it through maybe in record stores when I was a child or in movies. But as soon as I got Wish, I was like, oh my God, this is the record that glues everything together, my past, my present, and it's gonna obviously my future. Um, but it's that record, Wish, and what else? So there's a lot of things that we listen to. AC/DC. It's not very difficult to really, but I didn't know the thing about Malcolm Young. There's just these things that you don't know as individuals we don't know, but we through sharing and through I guess critical review. Oh, my dad really likes this. My cousin likes this. Um, Example, I don't know if you've heard Michael Bolton records. I used to like Michael Bolton when I was a little kid. I was like 7 years old, and I was listening to "I Could Have Loved You, But I Lied" or something like that. Da, 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 da. I could have loved you, but I lied. Yeah, Michael Bolton. It was, it was romantic and beautiful. Brian Adams. That actually, the Brian Adams is it's one of my favorite. I would say it's one of my favorite songwriting records. I had the greatest hits. My mom had the greatest hits. She had the one. There's a tire on the cover, and it's a dirty tire. It says hits music from the 85 through 92 or something like that. It's got the Robin Hood, the "Please Forgive Me, I Don't Know What I Do, Please Forgive Me," and you know, it's got Heaven. Heaven is, I think, one of my favorite all-time favorite songs. If I had a list of five favorite songs up there, and I'd say that Heaven is an incredibly well-written song. It's beautiful. It's the lyrics, the message, the actual imagery. It's incredible. Heaven. So Brian Adams is something to listen to. Rod Stewart, "Forever Young." That was one of my favorite things to listen to when I was hanging out with my older family, my uncles and my cousins, and Rod Stewart. Genesis, "We Can't Dance," and there's another one. I can't dance, I can't talk. Da, 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 da. I can't dance, I can't talk. Yeah, I love that. I love that music. The beat, the attitude. It's very light, but it's very like in your face and you know very playful. Um, uh, Anyways, there's stuff that we don't like the Chili Peppers, the Trent Reznor, the there was the In Utero. I had a some tracks I had a really hard time listening to because I didn't understand why is this stuff so distorted? Why is this stuff so um, aggressive? And I didn't understand it. And I kind of put it off. I kind of skipped tracks. There's a band that I did like a lot was Silverchair. If you guys have ever heard Frog Stomp, if you haven't, well, highly recommend Silverchair Records. Frog Stomp, Freak Show. Freak Show was one of my favorite records for a long time. No Association, The Door, Pop Song for Us Rejects. Um, there's a lot of really good music in that. The Cemetery is really good. Not so much for the lyrics. I think Daniel Johns's lyrics are kind of they're way too advanced or something, or maybe I just never got them. But it was the mood, the way he played guitar, the way he was like what 16 years old when he was in that band. It's just like it's really incredible, really talented human beings at such a young age, and they were playing this music. It's I think they were like barely out of high school, and they were releasing Freak Show. Just incredible. Silverchair, Diorama. If you've seen the creation of Diorama, I love that video. I think I've seen it like a million times. I love the process, the uh, Ben's approach to drums. He really, really, I think he really changed during the making of that record, in the sense of performing. His performance was different. I don't know. I think he was like hiding within the music and inside the tracks, but very effectively, very very well. Chris, I'm not a bass. I'm not sorry. I'm not a bass player. I'm not really like your. I give more emphasis, obviously, to guitar, unless I have a gig or something, and if it's bass, then I would be holding a bass. Like if I was part of a band right now and they said, "Oh, we need you to play bass," then I would focus on bass. I would listen to more bass, and I would focus to more bass, and I would be wearing a bass and playing bass. And playing bass is also very very good, but it's a lot more advanced. This is just stuff that's a lot more advanced. But there's a lot of things that we don't like that later on we end up saying, "Oh my God, that's incredible! That's an incredible experience." There's something else I would like to. Dr. Dre wasn't something I thought was I thought it was kind of I don't know trendy. Yeah, everybody listening to rap music in LA, and all these rap videos were. What was it? What was it? Nate Dogg and the regulator. Regulator. That was one of my favorite. Even though I didn't want to admit it, I loved to listen to that track. That the synthesizer. Nate Dogg and the regulator. I forgot what the other guy's name was. Um, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I can't believe it's like admitting these stuff. It's like I didn't. I mean, like I wouldn't go out and buy a Bone Thugs and Harmony record, but I guess I don't know. I guess if it came down to Bone Thugs and Harmony and something else, I'd probably get Bone Thugs and Harmony. I forgot what the name of that record. That thing was really popular. There's a lot of things that we don't like, and we don't really. It happens a lot with visual art, and I think something that's happening nowadays is that we see the music being performed right now. For example, maybe it's a good thing that you can't see my left hand. It's a good thing that you're developing some sort of ear. Because if you see what is being played on the guitar, then you kind of have an idea. Because I'm a professional guitar player, and I could see what the other guitar player is playing, so I can sort of say, oh, I know what he's doing, kind of. Yeah. But if you can't see what he's playing, and you're just listening to what he's doing, it's a whole different experience, because you have no reference point. You have nothing being, I guess, digested for you. You have to kind of imagine what he's doing, which is a lot better than You know, if you've heard in utero, if you've heard Nevermind, and you're like, oh, Kurt Cobain writes. We've heard that Kurt Cobain isn't really a good guitar player, but he writes really good music, and he's got a melody writer from you know from the greats, one of the greatest songwriters that ever lived. It's not just that; it's his guitar playing is is off the wall. If you try to learn how to play some of those licks, or try to play a song, a Nirvana song, I will guarantee you that you are playing it completely wrong, with the wrong attitude, the wrong emphasis. Maybe your guitar is too it's not the right guitar, it's not the right amplifier, it's etc. 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 If you want to really get one of those, I can't stress getting books. Right here I have some comic books. I have some comic books right here, because I'm learning how to copy the figure. These are all comic books. But if you want to learn how to play guitar, you definitely have to at least get Guitar Player magazine, or Guitar World magazine, so that you can see what, like, I'm talking about not having visuals, and then I'm talking about having visuals. I think stills are a lot more effective than if you're always looking at videos, because no, that's not true. Don't listen, delete that. Maybe not always having the visual part of the guitar playing. Like, you're looking at the guy's fingers and you're like, oh, I can probably do that, right? But that's not the point. The point is that you're listening to something and imagining what's going on within the music, and you can. It's a lot more. It's a lot more ear and less visual, right? But yeah, I do recommend that you get sheet music, magazines. This stuff does help the music, and it does enhance the experience. Excuse me. I always kind of overeat. um, but yeah, it's that Kurt Cobain thing that I always had. It's that mentality that Kurt Cobain was. I'm gonna spend the next 5 minutes, like, talking about this. Kurt Cobain was an okay guitar player. He wrote his songwriting, and his melodies are a lot better than his guitar playing, and that is not true. His guitar playing is out of this world. He is an incredible, incredible guitar player, and so is Robert Smith. So is I don't know. Let me see. The guy from the Minutemen. These really, like, low-profile guitar players. They have a distinct sound. The guy from Joy Division. I don't know what his name is. Very effective guitar playing. And if you try to learn some of Kurt Cobain stuff, it's like maybe the completely wrong, because he didn't play it like that, right? I'm playing the chords, and maybe my heart's in the right place, because I want to show you what's so good about Kurt Cobain. But there's a lot of stuff that he does, that he's playing different voicings, he's playing different strings, and sometimes he's playing upstrokes, and he's doing it with aggression, and it's very. I haven't really sat down to. I like the structure of the songs. I love the melodies, just like everybody else. But I think at one time I had to perform Heart Shaped Box in back in music school in MI. It was so funny, because there's a lot of stuff to that music, and I kind of got through it, just kind of barely. And they're like, no, that was wrong. Like, I know it was wrong, but I completed it was a task. You had to perform live, and you had to play a song, and that was the song. I think it was once a week we had to perform one one tune, and I chose Heart Shaped Box. No, I'm sorry, that was part of a class. It was modern rock guitar playing. And we were looking at Alice in Chains, Jerry Cantrell. I think we saw Kurt Cobain's guitar playing. We saw Mike McCready's guitar playing. Um, I thought one there was one another one, Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins, Cherub Rock. I had to perform. Oh, I didn't have to perform it, but I did have the music, and that thing is insane. Cherub Rock. If you try to play that stuff, or if you look at the guitar playing on Siamese Dream or Melancholy for the Infinite Sadness, Jesus Christ, those things. I'm sorry, I don't want to knock on wood. Um, Billy Corgan's guitar playing is really something. It's really crazy. It's really effective and aggressive, but it's also I one of my favorite songs on Melancholy for the Infinite Sadness is Stumbling. If you get to hear that track, Stumbling. The way he performs it, it's very delicate, very gentle, very beautiful music, and it's almost like it's very childlike instances of um, wanting to show you how he wants to share how he recorded the song or how they made the record. 33 on that thing is incredible. The violins, the composition, the so Billy Corgan's something else. Some another guitar player that's very low profile, but one of the greats. Mike McCready, Stone Gossard is obviously. I think if you hear No Code, if you try to listen to No Code on headphones, and you try to decipher which one is which, it's really hard to tell them apart. Actually, that's not true. I know Stone is more rhythm and low mid range, and Mike McCready is obviously the high leads. Um, but there's certain things where Mike uses the guitar to um, almost like he's playing like a video game. It sounds really like it's and he's basically just using a really heavy distortion on a very loud amp, and he's using a Strat and the whammy, and it's just like it's stuff on No Code that you're like, what the hell is that? If you listen to it carefully, it's a guitar, and all he's using is distortion. Stone's guitar playing is also very inspiring. I think I talked about Stone Gossard in one instance that Stone talks a lot about rhythm being moving in a certain way develops a new rhythm, and a new rhythm always inspires you to write music differently. Even if it's just on one string, you learn a new rhythm, and you can hear it on Who We Are. It sounds like very African, or like from African origin, like these rhythms that are very. I don't know if you've heard of Peter Gabriel's Security record. Peter Gabriel has an incredible a documentary on BBC. I think it was the BBC's something South Bank show. Peter Gabriel basically takes you into a studio. He shows you all the tapes that he's been using to demo the song. He goes to Africa and he records with a handheld recorder, or a really nice recorder. It's actually um, not a handheld recorder, but back then it was really difficult to do all this stuff. And he recorded stuff in um, like he would break televisions in a dump. They would go to a dump site, break televisions, blow on pipes, um, you know, um, just get all these really distorted, really crazy uh, sources, and create music with it, almost like from like it's I think it's he developed a thing on a sequencer. He had a Fairlight and another drum machine. I'm not sure what the drum machine is, but he would put this in the Fairlight, and the drum sequences that he used were very African based on African rhythms. That's very cool. So it's the Peter Gabriel's Security record is incredible. Um, I'm talking a lot about everything very quickly. I just wanted to. So that's probably it. That's the guitar lesson. Um, a lot of stuff that we do like now, we have to also question it. Why do I like this? What's so good about this? You eventually like, oh, I don't like this anymore. Or I do like it, but it's usually not. It's usually not. It's usually I don't like this. Why don't I like this? Um, and then eventually, sometime much more um, much more ahead of our um, I guess our learning. I'm sidetracking. We eventually developed our ear to like this stuff. I wasn't very keen on jazz. Jazz wasn't. It was nice. It was really cool to learn it. I'm very thankful for my education and the stuff that I was able to attend classes. I got to sit in with Scott Henderson once, and I did a lot of open counseling. Was what they call it in Musicians Institute. They call it open counseling, where you would just sit in. Alan Hines would have his doors open to anybody who would want to walk in and jam with him, and he had it's Alan Hines. I never heard of him, but through the halls of MI, I would listen to this guitar playing, and I'd be like, "Whoa, that's kind of cool." It's fusion, rock fusion, but it's like, "Whoa, what is this?" It's like a jazz diminished, chord over minor progression, but then it's like back into really smooth, slick leads. Oops, not even close. A lot of Alan Holdsworth inspired stuff, but he also had this stuff that was. I don't know if you've heard Chris Buck. It's sort of like a Chris Buck, but it's obviously completely different because it's fusion. So it's like the note that you want to hit, go before it or after it and back. So it's the you want to hit the A, you want to go or the opposite. Not the actual note, but the notes next to the note you want to hit are also effective. Right? The seventh or the flat nine or the flat nine, yeah, the flat nine, the flat second, flat nine. So I would walk up and down the MI halls, and I would listen to Alan Hines play, and I always tried to make my appearance, just because I knew that it was the kind of guitar playing that I really wanted to. Like, I'm here, I'm learning, and I really wanted to be able to do what he did. And it was a lot of 3 note per string stuff. I'm playing it obviously how I do it, but he has a completely different style, and you try to listen to this music and say. Alan Holdsworth is another great guitar player. I'm running out of batteries here. My battery is dying. Anyways, Alan Hines is a great inspiration, and I'm really thankful for being able to have had the education that I had in Hollywood and California, and I had a really good time, and I learned a lot. But okay, that's the guitar lesson. Those are fundamentals from the beginning. Watch the beginning of the video so that if you want to learn how to play guitar, or if you're an advanced player, those are fundamentals. I will be making these live videos. I think it's really nice to make these and have these in my channel. So thank you for appearing, and I will be posting a lot more content. Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed and you're going to watch these videos. It really helps me out. Thank you. How do we stop? How do we stop the live?